The thing I took most from it was probably, I think there's a kind of perception of Michael Beale, and I probably bought into it a wee bit, because he was a first team coach and seen as this kind of coaching guru, if you like, that well, maybe these guys are just a bit kind of, a bit flowery at times, a bit kind of, it's all about philosophies and projects and stuff like that. And I think that perception's been kind of built up. Where I was quite surprised, having now spoken to him and interviewed him and being in his company, is that he's got a bit more steel than I thought. He's got a bit more character, a bit more personality about him than I probably was giving him credit for a few weeks ago. And I think a few people would have been like that if you didn't know him and just seen him as this backroom coach, albeit a very talented one. The question is, could this guy, has he really got the personality, that kind of steel to be a manager? As I say, after yesterday, I think he probably has, and I think that's something he's going to need. I think it's something any Rangers manager coming in was going to need against Ange Postecoglou, who I think is such a big character, big personality. And I think Rangers needed somebody to really go up against that. I mean, aside from on the pitch, even off the pitch, just having that presence about them. As I say, that's something I didn't automatically give Beale credit for, but I think he's got a bit of that. I think he's got a bit more than I thought, because like Gav, if I'm being honest, he probably wouldn't have been my first choice. I thought at this particular time, this Rangers squad needed somebody like Sean Dyche. He would have been my number one choice for them as manager, and that's purely, as I say, looking at this squad. I think this squad need in terms of a manager at this time? I thought Dyche ticked a lot of boxes just in terms of that aura, that presence, that no-nonsense kind of style. And I thought Beale was going to be the opposite of that. But as I say, I've changed my tune a wee bit, because after speaking to him yesterday, as I said, I actually think he's got a wee bit of that, and I think that can only be a good thing for these players.
And that's the thing about this, Scott. I mean, obviously you had the benefit of meeting him yesterday, so you have now sort of, changed maybe what your initial opinion was. That's the thing we have to say. When I was asked right away, Daniel, when Van Bronckhorst was sacked that day, to me, it was like inexperience. He's only been a manager for 22 games, and he'd lost 4 of his last 5 and all that. But what you have to accept, what we have to accept is that the Rangers board worked with this guy for 3.5 years, Ross Wilson, Stuart Robertson, whoever else. They know him. So you've got to accept that they're in a position where, they can judge better than we can. So all these things that Scott's talking about, they would have known that already. Scott then forms that opinion when he meets him just for half an hour yesterday or whatever it is. So you've got to take that into consideration. They knew what they were appointing. They would know that he was steely and what he could do.